let's talk about Ausar Thompson, who has probably been the second best rookie, I would say, so far, which is obviously a high bar and a really good class. He has been phenomenal on both ends, but especially on defense. And we're gonna go over some plays from this Suns game and a couple others because I think this performance was just phenomenal. And defensively is where it starts. He is a monster defensive playmaker. And I think I'm actually accidentally starting with a weakness here. But yeah, the strength is his big issue, and is one of the big issues, and is what's keeping him from being like an all D defender already. Like Kevin Durant throws him away, but that is Kevin Durant, and I'm not really sure what you expect from a rookie against Kevin Durant. But his hands are so quick and active, and he is one of the most special athletes ever, especially on the defensive end, where his lateral movement, his quickness, swipes down to get that steal. He's really, really special stuff on defense. And it's just this movement skill and how high he jumps on contests that I think is throwing some really good NBA players off, where Durant here gets into his chest. Ausar does a good job of not moving backwards, holding his balance there. And just look how he floats. Kevin Durant is probably not very used to being like legitimately contested because he is enormous, but Ausar has the bounce to get up there and bother his shots. And it really did look like Ausar was bothering some Durant pull-ups, which feels basically impossible. Again, this contest point without fouling is ridiculous. Where look at the difference in how high these two are off the ground. And this is like not an easy shot. He gets fairly close to blocking a Durant three, which is basically impossible. He's a special athlete, and that pops everywhere in his game. I mean, just look at the ability to rise off of like a back pedal here almost, or he's like sliding, chasing in retreat here, and he leaps off of two and basically tips that ball despite being like moved backwards by Grayson Allen. There have been some issues with screen navigation and communication. Even here, he's able to get back into the play and get a strip, but he definitely, again, the strength we see, he has trouble rounding like the bigger screeners that he's ended up facing, and there have been some problems with communication as well, but he's a rookie and this stuff's gonna happen, and obviously it's nothing to worry about given like the insanely special shit he does on defense all the time. Look at him track this cut beautifully, get his hand in there for a steal, his instincts, his awareness of what's going on behind him, which is a really rare trait for young defenders to have. So many of them are prone to just back cuts and ball watching, but Ausar, this is not going to be a big problem, which is honestly a great thing to see, because one of the main or only real defensive weakness for Ausar in OTE was just how often he wasn't really trying and he was kind of standing around. But again, I figured that was probably more function of his OTE context than anything else, and I definitely think that is ringing true so far. As like, come on, he is gonna be a special weak side rim protector as well from the guard wing position. Nobody moves like him, leaps like him, reads the floor as a defender like him. It is beyond special, and that athleticism does definitely translate to the offensive end, where Ausar is already a fantastic cutter, not just when he gets to the rim, but his timing, slipping behind defenses here. He sees Bagley kind of getting stuck baseline here, makes himself available. If Ausar just stands like right here or spaces at the corner, Bagley probably turns the ball over here. Or maybe he can find the corner. But this is a great pass by Bagley, who has honestly been playing some good basketball this year, to find Ausar on the cut there. His scoring overall is really interesting to me, as I have said that I think he's the best ball handling prospect in this class. And again, that means prospect right now. And he has some real scoring craft where he can be patient, back a defender down, pivot into a layup. There's definitely rawness with the ball, especially in his ball control, which people are always like, oh, look at the ball control. But I generally, when I say handling prospect, he is so shifty and dynamic. And even on a play like this, look how low and explosive he gets. Quick change of direction. The ball is up to his shoulder, which is not great, but historically ball control is pretty fixable, and given Asar's elite athletic tools for handling, I'm not particularly worried. As even as a play where he gets plucked like this, I love the beginning sequence where he uses the quick behind the back to reject and to get downhill, and he's going to learn to not get swiped from behind as he continues to play more NBA games and get more experience. And I'm not particularly worried about it long term, is all I'm really saying. He can kind of get stuck just putting his head down and going straight without a plan, which is definitely normal for rookies, but there are moments where he's able to create with his handle and it looks really good, but the driving process is definitely a work in progress for sure. As Ausar is not the best handler in the world right now, but I think he can be in the future. This is a great defense by Yuta. Can't great separation and is able to hit. And this is a great transition to his awesome passing, where I don't think Asar is like a super high level passer, more just like a connective passer. He's not going to hit this like lay down window really, unlike, you know, a pass that his brother might make, but he can absolutely hit the skip pass to the weak corner when he gets doubled, making good decisions. And he's an amazing off ball connective passer. And that's like the role he's going to need playing next to Cade and Ivy long term, probably, hopefully, where he ghosts into the mid range, which you don't see very often, immediately hits it back to Cade when he notices the defense is sleeping. Just like he does on defense, the processing, all of that is really quick. He reads the floor great. Beautiful, quick spin move into lay down here. This is, again, weaponizing his explosiveness. Gets Gordon reeling. Nurkic has to help, and he bounces it to Duren. It's fairly simple stuff, but for a guy like his age, obviously being a rookie and how athletic he is, it's all wild that this is stuff that he can do. Really patient in transition here as well, which I love. A lot of players in this position will just like run straight at the rim, and Ausar does that sometimes. And again, he probably could have hit Isaiah Stewart on a lob, which would have been probably a little easier read, but he's patient, and Cade gets a wide open layup anyway because Nurkic is a traffic cone at the rim, and it doesn't really matter. But overall, Asar's passing has looked fantastic, and the shooting, of course, is like what everyone's going to talk about. It's like, oh, he's shooting like 2% from three. Like, yeah, whatever. It's not going to stay that low, obviously. It's definitely an issue, but he is confident in shooting them, which I appreciate, regardless of going in. That is like the most important thing. It's not becoming like Ben Simmons-esque. It's just not losing your confidence. And Ausar, that hasn't been an issue for Ausar, and it's good to see that does not seem to be a problem at all. And one of the most underrated parts of his game has always been the like mid-range pull-up shot making craft, which is a crucial like counter that his brother Amen notably does not have at this point, where Ausar uses pace and his crazy high release. Like, he just hangs in the air, and it looks like he's going to be very difficult to contest, as in this mid-range area. Like, look how high he gets over Larry Nance, draining this shot. It's just really impressive stuff. And there was another crazy pass that he had that I guess I forgot to include in this reel. But point being, passing is so good. Connective, cutting, finishing. I really believe in the creation, even though maybe I'll do a video on that at some point. But Ausar is fantastic. He has been a joy to watch, and I can't wait to watch him more.